Peter had
I
always
want
been
a
a single
baby.
dad. His son,
Will
Sasha,
you?
was his world, his joy, and at the same time, his challenge. Every day, Peter would wake up early, make breakfast, see Sasha off to school, rush to work, and come home in the evenings to devote all his attention to his son. Life was steady, predictable. He didn't look for new relationships and certainly didn't expect that his calm existence would be turned upside down in a single moment. One evening, while Peter was having dinner with Sasha, his phone rang. On the screen flashed the name Lyudmila. They had known each other back in college. Lyudmila was bright, independent, and a little wild, but over the years they had lost touch. Peter picked up the phone, surprised. "Hi, Peter." Her voice was soft, almost timid. "I need your advice, and maybe your help." Peter frowned slightly. He was ready for most requests, but something in her tone made his heart beat faster. "Of course, Lyudmila, tell me what's going on." She hesitated, then said it directly. "I want a baby. Can you help me?" Peter was caught completely off guard. He felt a strange mix of surprise, embarrassment, and anxiety. Help? But how exactly? At that moment, his son was already asleep, and Peter sat alone at the kitchen table, trying to process what he had just heard. He remembered their past. Lyudmila had always been bold and decisive, while he had been cautious and thoughtful. Back in college, they often argued about life, love, and the future. But now, her request wasn't a joke. It was serious. It demanded a serious decision. The next day, Peter couldn't focus at work. Thoughts kept running through his mind. Why me? Am I ready to be a dad again? And what about Sasha? He realized the decision would affect not just his life, but his son's life too. Finally, in the evening, Peter met Lyudmila at a small cafe by the park. She looked as beautiful as ever, but her eyes were filled with both anxiety and hope. "Peter," she began, holding back her emotions, "I need a father for my future child. I know this may sound strange, but I trust only you." Peter took a deep breath and, after a long pause, said, "Then I guess I'm a dad again." Her eyes lit up and she smiled, feeling she had finally found support. That was the beginning of a new chapter in Peter's life. He knew there would be challenges ahead, judgment from friends and colleagues, and immense responsibility. But along with that was joy, the chance to give life and love to another little person. From that moment, their lives changed. Doctor visits, planning for the future, preparing for the baby's arrival. Peter felt emotions he hadn't experienced in years: fear, hope, joy, doubt. But each time he looked at Lyudmila and her determination, he knew this was the right choice. Even though he sometimes missed his quiet life, he felt ready to take this path. He was ready to be a father again, for a new life, a new happiness, a new family. Months passed quickly. Peter and Lyudmila worked together to prepare for the baby's arrival. He learned to care not just for Sasha, but for the little one on the way, supporting Lyudmila at every step, listening to her needs and fears. Evenings spent at home, discussing baby names, became Peter's happiest moments. He felt for the first time in years that his heart could hold more love than he ever imagined. Sasha gradually accepted the situation. At first he was jealous and suspicious, but soon he understood that this was a new person who would become part of their family, and his care for his new sibling would be special. Finally, the day of the birth arrived. Nervous and joyful, Peter held Lyudmila's hand as she whispered softly, "Thank you, Peter. Without you, I could never—" Then came the baby's first cry. Tears of happiness streamed down Peter's face as he held the tiny being in his arms, feeling every detail: the soft skin, the warm smell, the tiny fingers. "Sasha, this is your sister, or brother," he said, looking at his son, who stood beside him, a little overwhelmed but happy. From that moment, their lives changed forever. Three hearts, bound by love, responsibility, and mutual support, became one family. Peter realized that a true family is not just about blood, it's about trust, choice, and dedication. Lyudmila often looked at Peter with gratitude and amazement. How could someone who never sought adventure bring so much happiness to her and their children? "You did the impossible," she said. "You became a dad again, and you gave us all the love we lacked." Peter just smiled. He knew challenges lay ahead, sleepless nights and problems that might feel insurmountable. But he also knew that together they could handle anything. The love that began with an unexpected request had now become the foundation of their family. And when Peter finally put all the children to bed, he whispered to himself, I'm a dad again, and it's the best thing that ever happened in my life. From that day on, every day brought laughter, joy, and new discoveries. Every day was proof that love can come unexpectedly, but it always finds its place in the heart. Months passed, and life settled into a beautiful rhythm. Peter, Lyudmila, Sasha, and the new baby became a real family. Mornings were filled with laughter, little footsteps, and the chaos that only children can bring. Evenings were cozy, stories before bed, gentle lullabies, and quiet moments of gratitude. Peter watched his children grow and realized something profound. Love multiplies when shared. Sasha, once skeptical, now proudly helped care for his sibling, and Peter felt his heart expand in ways he never imagined. Lyudmila's gratitude and warmth became the glue holding them together, but it was the everyday moments, shared smiles, gentle hugs, and simple acts of care that made their bond unbreakable. One evening, as Peter tucked the baby into bed, he looked at his little family and whispered, "I never thought I'd be a dad again, but now I can't imagine life any other way." The new chapter of their lives was filled with joy, challenges, and endless love, a reminder that family isn't just about blood, but about heart, trust, and being there for each other no matter what.